Two troopers and two civilians have found an unidentified body in a deep rust behind exit 49 in Laurel County. There were articles associated with the body that at this time we feel is Joseph County.
Joe works at the steel mill, works damn near every day. Leaves for work when the sun comes up, drops a kid to school along the way. Joe has everything he dreamed of, all the treasures that he needs. No wonder Joe's always smiling, he only aims to please you. Let me be your Joe.
Thank you for letting us be of service to you this morning.
I wanna be your Joe.
Since his text message said that he was going to kill a bunch of people, then kill himself, I imagine when the state police find him, he's not going to be alive. That was from last week, and apparently that is exactly what happened. And I was listening to the Kentucky State Police press conference on the discovery. Apparently, the folks who found it are McCoys, as in Hatfield's and. So it's just the families that keep showing up in historical events. But apparently, is a couple of McCoys out there. I don't know. They may have been looking for Couch. They may have been looking for Hatfields. I don't know. But they were out there. I believe they run the museum to their family's famous feud. But they were out there, as the story I'm told is, they were out there as part of the search. They were saying, hey, this is area we understand, we know, so we're going to look. And then they came across some state troopers because everyone started to smell something, like the lyrics from a Pearl Jam song, and found the decomposing remains, which the state police feel confident, based on stuff found around the body, that it is this I-75 shooter. And still, interestingly enough, very little, out and about this, aside from the fact that he had some hateful tweets and text messages that associated with this shooting, that he wasn't particularly nice to his neighbors and things like that. But an ugly period is an exclamation point on the matter at hand. But moreover, as we look, was it Congresswoman Luna from Florida is now under heightened security because she's been receiving death threats from people. And it continues to go on. And now, interestingly, not a one commentator called the AFL-CIO a bunch, not AFL-CIO, Teamsters who declined to endorse Kamala Harris, called them a bunch of bigots over that. And yet you and I are the ones that have to ramp back our debate about anything, I guess, is where it comes down to. The idea that, you and I are the reasons for this happening. This is one of, was it Fox News on the rhetoric needing to calm down for some reason. But it's you and me.
President Trump, he's Mark Lauder. Let's show the list of what the Trump campaign just dropped. They just dropped the receipts about what Democrats have been saying. Let's show it. Violence and instability cannot become a factor or a feature of U.S. political life, Mark. Democrats and the media, they spent at least about 7-8 years demonizing Trump, calling him Hitler, a threat to democracy. Biden saying put him in the bullseye. But can you blame Democrat rhetoric, or do you blame the attempted killing on the one person doing it?
No, I think the rhetoric is absolutely at play here. I mean, there were 3 pages of these quotes where they call him a threat. They compare him to Hitler. They compare him to a threat to democracy, Mussolini. You can go down the list. How many years did they say that he was a Russian spy?
Why, just yesterday there were more people saying that the president was going to be a dictator on day one. So we're the ones that have to back off on the alleged name calling. And there's, so much deeper nuance to this. And I love folks in my industry who will claim, well, we have limited time to... Really? I mean, I produce this show every day, and I have for years. And no, without question, there are things that don't make it onto the program. What did Rush used to refer to it as his stack of stuff? I mean, there's stuff that is just not going to get out there in the conversation each morning. But if there's anything we try to do here, it's if for no other good reason that it informs a reasonably fun debate, is we will talk about exactly what's going on from both angles and then throw down on what I think the better answers are. I got an email about the Bright Line, of all things. I mean, you want to people finding, mass shooters and kids 15 years old getting arrested for threatening to blow up their school. There's all kinds of different places, and it all leads to an authoritarian belief structure that there is a centralized cabal of people who are better suited to organize your life for you than you are. And one of the things I want to point out is the angst and the itchiness that we seem to be going through right now is the proof that these folks, that any folks cannot do this without authoritarian measures. And you can claim that I'm just as guilty as somebody else, but look at the history of Marxism and look at the history of what has to happen. Read Karl Marx's own words, and he talks about the fact that necessarily some people will have to be removed from the community because not everyone's going to go along with the collective. He says it in his, our foundational documents seem to be fairly aspirational. His, little dark, little dark. And that's not even campaign rhetoric. Well, I guess it kind of was. Marx was trying to sell the idea of collectivism, requiring arresting and confiscation of people's wealth. And we're the ones with the radical, inflammatory rhetoric. But it also puts people in that, maybe just shooting up the highway may be the best idea. I mean, I'm glad he's assumed room temperature. I'm glad they found him so kids can start to relax a little, but...
Making mornings great again. Joe Thomas in the morning, live from...
Crime across the country is at an all-time high. It feels like even a family road trip is taking a risk. We don't want the feeling of being unprotected and vulnerable. We found GetCCL.com. GetCCL.com gave us the help we needed to apply for a legal concealed carry permit that's recognized in over half of the country. GetCCL.com simplifies the process to apply, and it's all online. We used their free qualification process to answer a few questions and applied for our permit right from home. Thanks to reciprocity laws between states, when you're issued a New Hampshire concealed carry permit, you can legally carry in any state that recognizes your New Hampshire permit. It only takes minutes to apply, so don't wait. Exercise your rights today. Ensure you're protecting your family at home and in other states. Have peace of mind. Apply today. Go to GetCCL.com. That's GetCCL.com. Go to GetCCL.com. Exercise your rights today. Go to GetCCL.com.
In today's troubled world, our USA Armed Forces stand ready to protect you, your family, and our American way of life. When veterans return to civilian life, they deserve your recognition and support. You can help put vets to work by donating your car, truck, or van to Patriotic Hearts. Your donation will directly support programs to help vets find jobs or even start their own business. Donate today for fast, free pickup of your vehicle, running or not. Operators are standing by to answer questions about making a tax-deductible vehicle donation. Find out how you can make a difference in the life of a United States veteran. Call 800-209-4580 for 24-hour response. Call 800-209-4580. 800-209-4580. That's 800-209-4580.
Considered by most, optimized curcumin is one of the few bioavailable and highly absorbable curcumin products on the market. Hi, I'm Dr. Mitch. Since most chronic diseases have inflammation, our optimized curcumin seems to be a perfect addition to any nutritional program. It makes sense to me that preventing or reducing inflammation is a key component to our overall health. The Mayo Clinic found that curcumin can decrease swelling and inflammation, has antioxidant properties, and research suggests that curcumin can prevent cancer, or at least slow the spread of cancer, and in many instances make chemotherapy more effective. It protects our healthy cells even from radiation. TotalWellness.com, where we help you to look good, feel good, and enjoy total wellness.
Hey, this is Brant along with Sherry here. And so you hear me doing these spots for MediShare, and Sherry actually helps me with them. I get people actually in person saying, okay, Brant, for real, do you recommend this? Like, yeah, for real, I actually do. I'm not just saying stuff. Family, friends ask me about it. I'm like, yes, you should look into this. It's really a great option for a lot of people.
That's what I tell people my experience has been. MediShare has been fantastic for me.
Yeah.
It's so different from health insurance in a lot of great ways, honestly.
Yeah, and a lot of people who've switched tell me that. It's the same reaction. They're very, very happy with it, and it gives them peace of mind and saves them a lot of money.
I would tell people, look into it.
Yep. So really, for reals, if you want to talk to them, they're great to talk to. I think you'll be impressed and happy you looked into it. So you do the phone number. I'm actually tired of doing all the phone numbers.
Okay.
Call now.
855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
Nice job.
Thanks.
Time for our sports director, Mac McDonald, to tell us what he's working on for this Thursday morning. Mac, what's up?
Thank you, Joe. Good morning. Here are the stories we are following on this Thursday, presented by Automated Office Systems, Simple Systems, and Solutions. Log on to aoscorp.net. Is it just me, or have end zone celebrations gotten out of hand? A couple of years ago in the college game, the end zone celebration rules were being monitored closely. You were supposed to hand the ball to the ref after a touchdown, and if there was a religious connotation, well, that was acceptable. You could kneel or point to the sky. Not now. What happened? Well, in the NFL, it's a joke. Monday night, the Falcons' Drake London sprayed fake bullets in the crowd. There was Tyreek Hill's handcuff antics after the police stop a week ago when he scored. London did get penalized Monday night. He had scored the game winner in the upset, and Atlanta was assessed a 15-yarder prior to the extra point. After the game, his head coach, Raheem Morris, covered his you-know-what, saying he was shooting fake T-shirts into the crowd. Well, check out the college rule 9-2. NC2A football rule 9-2 Article 1A says, quote, any delayed, excessive, prolonged, or choreographed act by which a player or players attempt to focus attention upon himself or themselves is prohibited. They're not watching the same games I am. If you think college football coaches are bored during bye weeks, you're probably right. However, this past Saturday, Clemson coach Dabo Swinney had a very fruitful day.
I got the YouTube TV. Man, it was awesome. I had my phone going. I had my iPad going with 4-screen, and I had the TV going. And I mean, we had a lot of teams playing that we're going to play. And so that's really what I did all day. I just watched ball all day, and it was awesome.
Dabo's right. Saturdays can be great in the fall. The Tigers open against North Carolina State at noon. That's our sports update for this hour, presented by Automated Office Systems.
Thank you for joining in. You can call me Joe as well, but if you insist, you can address your emails to Taking Care of Business. 434-882-4217 is the telephone number. Emails come into JTInTheMorningRadio@gmail.com, or you can actually just text message to that phone number as well. We make both available for you because it is 2025. So we were talking about Marx versus Jefferson. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, endowed by their creator with unalienable rights. Marx, it's understandable that some people won't go along with the collective and they will have to be removed from the community. But if you're sitting here at ground zero, unsure of how you're going to pay your bills, unclear as to how to take the amount that you earn, regardless of first and foremost thinking of ways to earn more because the gaslighting tells you can't, the economy of scale has driven most of the places you might want to look for a place to earn greater income away. So you sit there and say, well, there's got to be an answer. And in comes the authoritarian who says, I have an answer. We'll go get the other guy's money. Let's take a drive. And they drive out to some suburban community where big houses and big lawns, and they say, look at how much more they have than you have. That's not equitable. And you say, yeah, that's not equitable. I mean, this has been going on. I would say it's probably been going on long before Robespierre ever decided that it's good to be the king. To find a willing group of less miserables, inflame them into uprising to gain power for yourself and wealth and riches. And in some cases, the less miserables notice pretty quickly, as happened in France. And so not too long after you lose your legislative head, you lose your physical head. But it's this just win, baby, idea that life is a series of ones and zeros. That if this day doesn't go this way, all the other ones that follow. And I don't know how many miles you have on your odometer, but I have a few. And I realize, guess what? I'm checking the sky, and I get some indications here on the eastern seaboard that the sun's going to rise in the same place it's risen all of my life. And that the day is going to commence regardless of what happened yesterday. And you need to be ready for it. It's a simple concept, and kids used to be brought up to understand that, okay, well, this is a new day. Let's do the best with this. You can't undo yesterday, but you can certainly do better today if you feel that yesterday didn't go your way. But in this world of democracy, everything is a 51-49 vote. Everything must be a vote of the majority, or at least the majority of the people we can get to show up at the time. Your ability to open a business, your ability to close a business, all is up for a vote. So we must turn everyone on each other because these votes are generally going to be 1 or 0. Yes or no. Maybe is not a choice. One of the phrases, and I remember being taught this in social studies back in New York City public schools, believe it or not, in the good old 70s when the city was bankrupt. 40 kids and me in a classroom in a 100-year-old building. And people wonder why I'm harsh on the whole, we need to build a new high school crap. But one of the things I was taught was that the concept, the phrase checks and balances, does not refer to specifically the judicial checking, the legislative or the executive checking. No, the phrase checks and balances was to check and balance the volatile nature of the vox populi. It was designed to cool the jets of an impassioned and perhaps misled population, to provide other parts of the governing structure so that there would be other minds that were not necessarily thinking about, I need money today. Vote for me to give me money today. And then there would be other parts saying, hang on a second here. Because they wouldn't be reliant on popular election to get their office. They were representing other concerns. I mean, for example, this program's a representative republic. I have my thoughts and you can share yours, but at the end of the day, my decisions regarding what goes on in the program are based on the simple idea of what serves the other listeners, not just you and me.
Here for you, not politicians. Joe Thomas in the morning, live from...
Did you know that healthy arteries make a gas? Yes, actually 3 known gases. Hi, I'm Dr. Mitch, and nitric oxide is a gas that's readily made all day long to keep our arteries open by relaxing the blood vessel walls. By doing this, our circulation is increased, bringing blood, oxygen, and nutrients to every part of your body. Both age and poor diet can lead to a loss of this precious gas, and in turn, blood pressure can go up, energy can go down, and you can get tingling in your hands and feet. Well, our product, Ultimate Nitric Oxide, can easily help fix this lack of nitric oxide. Go to TotalWellness.com. That's TotalWellness.com, where we are helping you to look good, feel good, and enjoy total wellness.
Lisa Wolf here to tell you about our newest website for old-time radio lovers. It's 100radioshows.com. At this site, there are 5 old-time radio shows waiting for you to download free as our gift to you. And be sure to browse the additional 700 old-time radio shows available to you for 70% off by using the promo code RADIO at checkout. This is a limited-time offer, so log on to 100radioshows.com. That's 100radioshows.com.
Since 1941, ordinary American citizens have been serving their communities nationwide as a member of the Civil Air Patrol, the official auxiliary of the United States Air Force. Answering the call to volunteer nationwide with 1,500 squadrons across 52 wings and our pilots flying more than 112,000 hours annually. And you can answer the call to volunteer. Become an everyday hero every day as a member of the Civil Air Patrol. Find a unit near you at GoCivilAirPatrol.com.
Considered by most, optimized curcumin is one of the few bioavailable and highly absorbable curcumin products on the market. Hi, I'm Dr. Mitch. Since most chronic diseases have inflammation, our optimized curcumin seems to be a perfect addition to any nutritional program. It makes sense to me that preventing or reducing inflammation is a key component to our overall health. The Mayo Clinic found that curcumin can decrease swelling and inflammation, has antioxidant properties, and research suggests that curcumin can prevent cancer, or at least slow the spread of cancer, and in many instances make chemotherapy more effective. It protects our healthy cells even from radiation. TotalWellness.com, where we help you to look good, feel good, and enjoy total wellness.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. I'm here to warn you about telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Some of these scammers may say threatening things like you will be arrested if you don't make payments or provide personal information. Do not fall for these tricks. These calls are not from us. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you for information or money. If you receive a call like this, hang up. Never give the caller your personal information, like your Social Security number or bank account, or send money in any form, cash, gift cards, wire transfers, or prepaid debit cards. Report the call to our law enforcement arm, the Office of the Inspector General, at oig.ssa.gov. Share this information with your friends and family.
Hi everybody, I'm Jack Hanna. Since I was a boy growing up on a farm in Tennessee, I've been fascinated with animals. I'm not only in awe of their beauty and kindness, but also their tireless work ethic. Just look at the birds who gather supplies to build nests, or Swiss foxes who work hard to provide for their young, or penguins who travel up to 500 miles to secure food for their families, or bush babies whose impressive jump allows them to navigate the trees in the wild in search of fruit. This remarkable work ethic is shared by our best friends, the canines. We know dogs are wonderful pets at home, but because of their acute senses, they also perform life-saving work every day. Dogs keep us safe at airports. They comfort returning veterans, some of whom suffer from PTS. They work with diabetics, alerting them when there's a change in their blood chemistry. Working dogs have a variety of highly trained roles that contribute to society and help those in need. So please join me and American Humane in supporting our heroic working dogs and all the amazing animals on this planet we inhabit together. Go to AmericanHumane.org to learn more.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Did you know that more than half our household energy costs go to heating and cooling? Energy efficiency isn't just good for the environment. It means lower utility bills, too. One way to reduce your energy waste is a home energy assessment. Your utility company can help, or you can learn how to do it yourself at EnergySavers.gov. That's EnergySavers.gov. You'll learn to look for air leaks around windows and doors, check ducts for holes, and improve your insulation. Another time to cut energy costs is when you shop for a new appliance. Look for the Energy Star logo and read the Energy Guide label. And there are day-to-day things you can do. Lower your thermostat in winter and raise it in the summer. Close fireplace dampers when they're not in use. And keep air filters clean. For more tips on saving money by reducing your energy waste, check out ftc.gov/green. A tip from the Federal Trade Commission, the nation's consumer protection agency.
As a family member or friend, you may be the first to notice when a veteran you love has been going through changes. Things like withdrawing, drinking more, or increased anger could be a sign of a larger health concern. But help is available. Listen to hundreds of inspiring stories at maketheconnection.net and learn how you can support the veterans in your life. Treatment works. Recovery is possible.
Comes the revolution of limousines, comes the revolution of strawberries and cream, comes the revolution. We'll eat strawberries and cream, but I don't like strawberries and cream. Don't like it? No, it gives me pimples. Comes the revolution, you muzzle, you'll eat strawberries and cream and like it. Good.
Joe Thomas in the morning. Just as a quick side note, if you ever wonder how this analysis gets populated, that was a comedy routine that I watched with my mother frequently. So this is, my bank executive mother would play this stuff for me with a degree in Chinese history come the revolution there. 434-882-4217. But that is it. I mean, that is it in a nutshell. Is we want what we want, and we want you to give it to us. And they play on, and this is why I say conservatives have to be more tuned into explaining why our economic free market principles are better. And by the way, I mean actually living by them. The trouble with a lot of, quote, conservatives is what's the epithet we use? The Chamber of Commerce conservatives is not that we are against business, but what has happened is business cozies up with whichever political party seems to be in their best interest. Because once the regulatory capture has taken place, well, then I've got to figure out, what was it, Shearson Lehman Brothers in 2008 gave almost equivalent numbers of thousands of dollars to Barack H. Obama and John McCain's campaign. Why? Well, it's good to invest in who might be the denizen of the White House. This is proof that the K Street is more important than Wall Street or Main Street. That's the street you need to be looking at, is who's trying to manipulate the regulators in the government. 434-882-4217. Lots to get into. Stefan Padfield from the Free Enterprise Project, the demise of DEI under your scrutiny and your complaints. Also, the SAVE Act got shot down yesterday. CNN whole special, again, going for the classic misrepresentation of what we mean when we say illegal immigrants. See, you can't say they're illegal. People can't be illegal. So then they can just make this moral equivalence between people who have worked very hard to come to this nation and become citizens and people who just showed up at the southern border because they were told to there. Also, speaking of misrepresentation, because, well, at least it's some kind of representation, we're going to get into, again, somebody a week and a half later saying, hey, didn't Trump say he'd get rid of Obamacare during the debate? And the answer, of course, is no, he didn't. But Dr. Clark was talking to me about a fascinating story regarding using technology, old technology and new technology merging together in this battle between Israel and Hamas. I love the pagers blowing up, although I guess the Independent is saying, no, it was walkie-talkies, but most other outlets are referring to them as pagers, just blowing up in the pockets of thousands of Hamas terrorists.
Well, it was both, Joe. Now, yesterday it was walkie-talkies. The day before it was pagers. And you have to go back a couple or 3 months, and the Israelis used Hamas's cell phones to target them.
To find them, yeah. I remember that, yeah.
Yes. And so Hamas said, well, currently we can't use cell phones, we'll use pagers. And the Israelis managed to intercept the pagers being sent to them and put 3 to 5 grams of Semtex, which is C4's ugly sister, into the pagers. And they simultaneously detonated them. You know, if they'd have done 1 or 2 here and there, everybody would have got rid of their pagers. So they did them simultaneously. And then yesterday it was walkie-talkies. Now, I have no idea what they might plan for today or tomorrow, but here's the thing. Not only have they removed 3,000 key Hamas terrorists, but what else have they done, Joe? If you're a Hamas person, you're not going to pick up anything electronic. You ain't going to listen to a transistor radio today. It might blow up. Open up my iPad? I don't think so. So, they've removed 3,000 key personnel, and they've completely shut down their communication system. And here's what fascinates me. The Atlantic, our State Department people, et cetera, well, we are no closer to a ceasefire. Can you imagine during World War II, the Marines have taken Iwo Jima. We are no closer to a ceasefire with Japan.
we blew up a bridge, and it goes another. If you torture that analogy a little bit, or at least enhance, interrogate it, when we were blowing up bridges that led into Berlin and isolating the city and trying to, turn, this would be the kind of place where in modern American public policy, you would see the protests saying, the innocent Berlin citizens, you're targeting them, the Allies are bad, we must send them all to the War Crimes Tribunal because they've... This silly argument in this battle between Hamas and Hezbollah and really Iran and Israel is really a master's class in the useful idiot. Yes, war is bad for civilians. That's why war should be avoided whenever possible. And this is why our congressional representatives were supposed to have the war powers in their hands, because it was us that were going to be on the front lines, Dr. Clark. I mean, all this silliness that goes on in this coverage of this battle is crazy, but I can see, what do they do when we ban cell phones in Virginia schools? How will the kids communicate? Oh, well, we blew up a bunch of Hamas pagers. How will the kids communicate if they need to get home early? That's the same kind of hand-wringing navel-gazing we're going to get in this.
Well, that's what you're hearing. Oh, I don't know. It's a crazy world, Joe. It's a crazy world, and we've got a lot of people that supposedly run our country that don't run it to our interests. You were talking earlier about you can't call somebody illegal, and I got to say, Joe, I begin to wonder if we can call them illegal, because when our government uses our tax dollars to charter planes to bring people here, even though they didn't use a legal process to do it, it was our government that did it.
Right. Well, that's one of the arguments in Springfield, Ohio, is that since the government gave us the ride here, we are legal citizens now. We have legal presence here, and this is why it shouldn't have happened in the first place. But not a flaw, but a feature. Coming up on my break here, Dr. Clark. Good stuff. Great story.
Take care.
All right, 434-882-4217. That's the phone number on Joe Thomas in the Morning.
Joe Thomas in the Morning, live from America's hometown.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hi, I'm Marcel Spears. Keeping our global neighborhood safe is a tough job, one made just a bit safer with the help of America's brave military dogs. These dogs, who often take the same risks and make the same sacrifices as our human warriors, keep our troops safe by sniffing out bombs and IEDs, locating enemy positions, and bringing a sense of comfort and home to an almost unimaginable circumstance. Yet, when these brave canine heroes retire, they're not always given the same treatment as our military VIPs, and are too often left overseas. American Humane works to bring home these valiant dogs and reunite them with the people who mean the most to them, their handlers, so they can enjoy happy, healthy, well-deserved retirements. To learn how you can help America's four-footed heroes, visit AmericanHumane.org.
Radio.
It's on.
Considered by most, optimized curcumin is one of the few bioavailable and highly absorbable curcumin products on the market. Hi, I'm Dr. Mitch. Since most chronic diseases have inflammation, our optimized curcumin seems to be a perfect addition to any nutritional program. It makes sense to me that preventing or reducing inflammation is a key component to our overall health. The Mayo Clinic found that curcumin can decrease swelling and inflammation, has antioxidant properties, and research suggests that curcumin can prevent cancer, or at least slow the spread of cancer, and in many instances make chemotherapy more effective. It protects our healthy cells even from radiation. TotalWellness.com, where we help you to look good, feel good, and enjoy total wellness.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. I'm here to warn you about telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Some of these scammers may say threatening things like you will be arrested if you don't make payments or provide personal information. Do not fall for these tricks. These calls are not from us. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you for information or money. If you receive a call like this, hang up. Never give the caller your personal information, like your Social Security number or bank account, or send money in any form, cash, gift cards, wire transfers, or prepaid debit cards. Report the call to our law enforcement arm, the Office of the Inspector General, at oig.ssa.gov.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Did you know that more than half our household energy costs go to heating and cooling? Energy efficiency isn't just good for the environment. It means lower utility bills, too. One way to reduce your energy waste is a home energy assessment. Your utility company can help, or you can learn how to do it yourself at EnergySavers.gov. That's EnergySavers.gov. You'll learn to look for air leaks around windows and doors, check ducts for holes, and improve your insulation. Another time to cut energy costs is when you shop for a new appliance. Look for the Energy Star logo and read the Energy Guide label. And there are day-to-day things you can do. Lower your thermostat in winter and raise it in the summer. Close fireplace dampers when they're not in use. And keep air filters clean. For more tips on saving money by reducing your energy waste, check out ftc.gov/green. A tip from the Federal Trade Commission, the nation's consumer protection agency.
For those fortunate enough to help the person who has always been their hero, find the care guides you need to help at aarp.org/caregiving.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community support for your strength.
To create stories. If I have to create stories, it's worth it, is what he's saying.
Here's what that quote tells me. The fact that he says, if I have to create stories to defend the American people, is telling me that he doesn't see Haitians as people or as American people, whatever that means.
That is from CNN last night. Joe Thomas in the morning, and mistelling of stories and the words you use, so important, because when we're living in this gaslit world of 51-49 and everything is democracy, which means everything is mob rule. The words that are used are specific and intentional because they are designed to elicit a specific response.
No bad words, bad thoughts, bad intentions.
Ah, yes, and the bad intentions. So you're designed, we are all designed in the image of God to have compassion, to care, and we do. But what does care mean? What does truly caring about somebody mean? When you see somebody who is homeless, what is caring about them? I just spent the evening the other day hosting a telethon for the local Salvation Army. And I'm told they don't care because they victim shame. They make it seem like it's your fault that you're homeless and that you need to be fixed, and that's not equitable. Our woke society is evolved past the idea of your culpability, and there's a dangerous, in exchange for you giving up your culpability, you also give up your authority. So the Aaron Burnett show, with this spokesperson for the Haitian community in the United States, obviously a citizen of the United States herself.
The fact of the matter is that Americans are immigrants. Every single person in this country came from somewhere else.
Ah, the greatest hits. The greatest hits are back. Yes, no, that is not. My grandparents came over from Belfast through Scotland, and my wife's parents came from Glasgow and Govan. The only part of my family that I can't get too far back from is my grandmother, my paternal grandmother's family. It goes all the way back to where I've wound up. My family's come full circle. The Pursleys of Waynesboro, Virginia in 1750, all the way back to the Thomases of WTON Radio in Waynesboro of 2024. So I can't get further back than the Pursleys of Waynesboro in 1750. But all the other parts of my family, sure enough, did come from somewhere else. And I presume that the Pursleys came from somewhere to Waynesboro. But that's such a flimsy, false narrative. That's the gaslighting. It's not about where you came from and where you are. It's what do you understand about what the rules are. At some point, concussion protocols may have to be called in on me for the amount of time you and I spend beating our heads against our collective walls and steering wheels. But they don't want to talk about it in those terms because how can you manipulate a population if they know what their rules are? If they know the rules that say these people who walk around in neckties and white shirts don't have any authority over you. You have authority over them if you're a citizen of the United States. This is the substantive point in all of this. We played you the clip yesterday of the city manager saying he was getting inundated with phone calls from people saying there's something's going on here. And it's not because you don't like Haitian people, but you love your pet and you don't want it to disappear for whatever reason. Oh, where's the... Got an email yesterday about the religious... where did I put it? Again, it's like these emails come in long after the show is done. Dear Mr. Thomas, was hearing you talk about the religious aspect of the possibility that the pet disappearances in Ohio was driven by voodoo rituals. I don't know if the U.S. Constitution specifically protects voodoo as a religion. Do we have a list of officially recognized religions? Oops, there's that funky Constitution in the way. It's regardless, and maybe you missed or you came in, Sarah, maybe you came in part way through the conversation about it and the analysis of it. I say you have a First Amendment right to not have the government impede your ability to celebrate your religious beliefs however you like. However, you don't have the right to steal from someone else in order to do it, any more than a Catholic has the right to go steal somebody else's wine so that they can hold a mass. Hey, guys, we don't have any wine. Go next door and see if you can take a bottle of theirs. I mean, you just don't have the right to do that. That's the point. It's this silly gaslighting narrative has got to stop. But it's not going to as long as we are so deeply addicted to this idea that everything is a democratic pursuit, because that's what the authoritarians want us thinking, that if I vote for like people, I'll get my way. Stop. Stop trying to impose your way on someone else. I hear the keyboard warriors now. Easy for the guy with his own radio show. It's got 434-882-4217. You see it differently? I'm glad to hear from it. Dr. Leah I always mess up her name. Palagashvili from the Mercatus Center at George Mason University. We're going to get into some of those very things. But when I talk to folks like this, I feel like I'm getting free college credits. I'm not some obelisk that you just stand in front of and say, oh, isn't it great? I mean, if I was a guy like Howard Stern, I might think that. But I would never tell anyone. And by the way, all of Howard Stern's listeners that he said don't listen to him anymore or shouldn't listen to him anymore, you're welcome to listen to Joe Thomas in the Morning anytime. And I particularly enjoy it when you don't agree with me or see something like Dr. Clark. I hadn't been looking into this exploding pagers thing except for the fact that I had noted that there was a story about it. That's great stuff. I'm not some control freak that if I don't think of it, it can't be on the show. How boring would that be?
The second most famous Thomas from Charlottesville, Joe Thomas in the Morning.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse?
Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph, when blam! Ran right into the side of the saloon.
Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Lisa Wolf here to tell you about our newest website for old-time radio lovers. It's 100radioshows.com. At this site, there are 5 old-time radio shows waiting for you to download free as our gift to you. And be sure to browse the additional 700 old-time radio shows available to you for 70% off by using the promo code RADIO at checkout. This is a limited time offer, so log on to